Good morning. Diane here. Today is Wednesday, April 22, 2026, and I'll be reading the Herald News from Fall River. And today's weather, a shower in the AM, 45 to 52, tonight 38 to 45. On Thursday, it'll be mostly cloudy, a bit warmer, 91 to 68. At night, 36 to 43. On Friday, partly sunny, 54 to 61, and 34 to 41. On Saturday, for the weekend, we'll have rain and drizzle, 52 to 59. At night, 40 to 47. On Sunday, mainly cloudy, 53 to 60, with 39 to 46 at night. And that's the weather for the coming week. Headline, page 1, the zoning board approves townhouse plans. This is an article written by Dan Medeiros for the Herald News. Fall River. The Zoning Board of Appeals unanimously okayed a plan to build 11 townhouses on property that's currently unused parking space for the long-closed Sam's Club on Brayton Ave. The proposal was filed by David Nugent, owner of the 13.5-acre property on Brayton Avenue. It housed a Sam's Club warehouse store until its closure in 2016. Nguyen bought it in 2020 after years of vacancy, and it now houses his U.S. Bedding Inc. manufacturing business. Jeffrey Tallman of Northeast Engineers and Consultants petitioned the ZBA on Nguyen's behalf. He said most of Nguyen's land contains parking the bedding company doesn't need, but which was required when the warehouse store was built. Manufacturing facilities have a much less of a parking demand than a wholesale or retail facility, Tallman said. So when you drive by this site now during business hours, what you'll notice is there's a vast, mostly vacant parking lot, even when U.S. Bedding is operational. The townhouses will be built on about 26,000 square feet of parking lot along Jefferson Street, bordered on the north by the access road leading into the neighboring Walmart. A parking area that Tallman said has, quote, sitting there vacant for many, many years, close quote, blocked off and unused. Why isn't anything else being built in the former Sam's Club? The neighbor directly to the north is the city's Walmart, which also previously owned the U.S. Bedding lot. Tallman said Nugent's property is deed restricted by Walmart, preventing him from putting anything that competes with retail on his 13.5 acres. Since the bedding factory doesn't need so much parking, Tallman said, the property could potentially be divided into 6 lots for other purposes like housing. The townhouses would be in harmony with the surrounding residential neighborhood, including condo units recently built directly to its south, and would resemble units built on Spring Street downtown. We would be adding green space to this property, Tallman added. Ken Fiola, Executive Vice President of Bristol County Economic Development Consultants, spoke in favor of the project, saying the land is being wasted thanks to those previous parking requirements and the deed restriction. And we all know that we're in need of additional housing, and especially housing throughout the South End, Fiola said. Page 1, headline. Online auction for city's surplus property is live and free to all. This is an article written by Emily Sherney for the Herald News. Fall River. The online auction for the city's surplus property, including decommissioned vehicles, is live, and registration is free for bidders interested in getting their hands on a few big-ticket items for entry-level prices. Online municipal marketplace service GovDeals is handling the sale and advertising of old property. Using the online platform that services over 15,000 federal, state, local, and educational agencies, potential bidders can gain access to view and purchase items up for auction. GovDeals membership and bidding process allow interested parties to register online, create an account, and log in to view Fall River's lots. At the March 24 City Council Committee on Finance meeting, Councilor Linda Pereira spearheaded talks revolving around how exactly the city might declutter old junk that costs more to repair than it's worth. Trevor Coelho, the city's purchasing agent, talked up the savings if the city forgoes a live in-person auction in response to Pereira's concerns about the difficulty of online auctions. In the past, said Pereira, auctions were held live at Department of Community Maintenance facilities, and people came down, they bid on it, they see things, she said. Now the city's purchasing department has transitioned to online auctioning as a prerequisite to disposal of potentially salvageable property. Online auction will cost city nothing. An online auction would cost the city nothing, Coelho said, because all that's charged is a buyer's premium. But a live auction would stipulate the cost of an auctioneer and come with a hefty cost, including the manual labor of collecting all auction lots together in one centralized location, plus legal counsel to handle contracts. Chief Financial Officer Emily Arpke said there would be times when a live auction would be more fruitful. Based on the batch of items, however, the city is on trend to spend more than it's making if it opts for a live auction over an online one. How much surplus property is Fall River willing to auction off? 76 lots, including 11 inoperable vehicles, are slated to be auctioned off. A letter to city administrators from Coelho explains that decommissioned vehicles have been involved in major accidents, sport high mileage with mechanical issues, or need repairs and are therefore unable to pass inspection. The equipment to be sold hails from 7 different municipal departments: the library, the collector's office, the council on aging, the city clerk's office, and from police and fire departments. Office supplies, computer, desk, public safety equipment, a bariatric wheelchair, and a pool table are just some of the notables cresting the to-be-auctioned list. A 2010 Chevy Impala bearing faded police department decals is listed at a mere $310. Can items be scrapped? Not right away, Coelho and Arpke agree. If any items do not sell at auction, the city can then scrap items by ordinance following the auction. Lowball offers can be rejected in online format. Bids not on par with an item's value can be rejected, Coelho said. Councilor Sean Kadim said, most significantly, items on the list to be auctioned should not be given away, especially if that property has significant value. According to Kadim, online auctions have the potential to attract fewer bidders who then name their prices and walk away with a valuable item for a couple $100. Where will the auction proceeds go? Fall River's online public auction proceeds will be rerouted to the general fund, in line with Councillor Michael Cannell's suggestion to distribute funds to public safety departments. The council added terms to give the money back to the city's police and fire departments before referring the item to be heard by the full council later that same night. Cannell said it should be required for the earnings of 11 police vehicles and 13 other pieces up for auction to ultimately be pocketed by the Fall River Police Department. The proceeds from 13 lots from Central Fire Station and another 26 from headquarters at 140 Commerce Drive ought to be returned to the Fall River Fire Department, he said. Arpke said auction proceeds hit the general fund, which provides funding for those departments like covering capital improvements, servicing debt, or supplying free cash. Arpke said she expected the auction to generate hundreds, perhaps thousands of dollars, but not tens of thousands of dollars. We're talking about dollars going back to them, she said. I think every dollar is important to them, Cannell said, with Section 2972 of the city ordinances allowing the city council to dictate the terms of a public auction. At the March 24 meeting of the full body, councilors voted unanimously to approve the auction, but did not pass Cannell's motion to return earnings back to the respective departments. For assistance with registration or bidding, contact GovDeals, G-O-V, capital D, EALS at 800-6130156 or email customerservice@govdeals.com. Page 1, headline: Pierogi Marathon. Parishioners at the Blessed Trinity made thousands of dumplings for the annual Polish food sale. This is an article written by Colin Furs for the Herald News. And they're off. Parishioners at Blessed Trinity Parish marked a different kind of marathon this past weekend, the pierogi-making kind. Volunteers gathered for 4 labor-intensive days of making dumplings ahead of the Fall River Church's annual Polish food sale. A total of 557 dozen pierogies were made, and orders will be available for pickup starting April 25 at 9 a.m. Parishioners make the pierogies, and Gabby Bark gets the dough ready for all the pierogies. Today's obituaries in the Fall River Herald News for Wednesday, April 26, 2026 are as follows. First, the obituary of Stephen P. Harton of Providence. Stephen P. Harton, 66, passed away on Friday, April 17, 2026. For his complete obituary or to leave a message of condolence, please visit www.bellowsfuneralchapel.com. Ralph A. Guerrero Jr. Ralph Alphonse Guerrero Jr., 89, of Portsmouth, Rhode Island, passed away peacefully at home on Friday, April 17, 2026, with his life partner, Linda Looker, by his side. Born in Brooklyn, New York, he was the son of the late Ralph and Yolanda Aquilino Guerrero. Ralph began his career in banking before joining the family business, Swan Finishing Company, Inc., founded by his father in 1958, where he later served as vice president. Ralph was a longtime member of the Knights of Columbus in Fall River. He generously contributed to many charities over the years, and he was an avid golfer and a longtime member of the Woodchuckers and Slivers Golf League and Montauk Golf Country Club. He also enjoyed playing tennis for many years and cherished time spent with family, especially on outings aboard his powerboat. Christmas gatherings with his family were among the most cherished moments. He was the father of Ralph Louis Guerrero of Warren, Rhode Island, and Russell Guerrero of Rehoboth, Massachusetts. In addition to his parents, Ralph was predeceased by his brother Pascal, Pat Guerrero, and his former wife, Vicky. A funeral mass will be celebrated at St. Barnabas Church, 1697 East Main Road in Portsmouth, Rhode Island, on April 23 at 10 a.m., followed by private interment in the family plot at St. Patrick's Cemetery in Somerset, Massachusetts. In lieu of flowers, donations in Ralph's memory may be made to the American Kidney Fund at www.kidneyfund.org. He will forever be remembered for his love of family, his sense of humor, and the many memories he created with those closest to him. Headline: Tiverton Library offers May events for all interests. This is an article written by Beth McDermott of the Herald News. Tiverton residents have a variety of events to choose from at the Tiverton Public Library this month, according to a community announcement. Activities range from book clubs and crafting groups to educational programs and wellness clinics. For those interested in socializing and learning new skills, the library hosts a crochet club at 6 p.m. Mondays in the teen room, open to both teens and adults. A weekly watercolor group meets at 12:30 p.m. on Tuesdays, allowing artists to work on their projects and socialize, though participants must bring their own supplies. The library's craft circle gathers from 5 to 8 p.m. on the first Wednesday of each month in the community room, welcoming all types of crafters to share ideas and tips. A cross-stitching group will meet from 5 to 8 p.m. on May 20, inviting both beginners and experienced cross-stitchers to work on their projects and exchange advice. Book lovers can join the Tiverton Public Library book group to discuss Cultish by Amanda Montell at 10:30 a.m. Friday or 6 p.m. May 20. Copies of the book are available for checkout at the library. Another book club, Baja's Book Club, will meet at 12:30 p.m. May 11 at Baja's Cat Cafe, 137 May Road, to discuss The Cat, the Devil, The Last Escape by Shirley Rousseau Murphy and Pat J.J. Murphy. The library offers one-on-one tech help throughout the month, available to everyone regardless of skill level. Appointments can be made by calling 401 625 6796, extension 8, or visiting tivertonlibrary.org. That number again is 401 625 6796, extension 8, or tivertonlibrary.org. Tech Tuesday sessions focus on the practical use of artificial intelligence. The first session, scheduled for 2 p.m. May 5, will explore how AI can assist in debates and difficult conversations. Future sessions will cover using AI for editing, clarity, and writing prompts, all designed for beginners. Dear Abby, these are letters written to Abigail Van Buren. Co-worker's presence makes potential suitor uncomfortable. Dear Abby, there's a girl I really like, Tori, who has a certain enthusiasm for me that few, if any, people have had. I have taken her seriously, but she works in a store where there's a drag queen who makes herself look so much like a female that I find it disturbing. She often wears revealing clothing. As much as I like Tori, I do my best to ignore this coworker when she's in the store. What do I do if I think the girl I like could be the one for me, but I'm wary of the company she keeps? Signed, Conditional, in Maryland. Dear Conditional, start honestly analyzing what it is about Tori's coworker that makes you, quote, uncomfortable, close quote. Has she come on to you? Are you on some level attracted to her? Tori's coworker is hurting no one by expressing and dressing as the person she is. If you haven't already, talk with Tori about this. She may be able to explain it to you. However, if you can't be comfortable around the person, it will be time for you to move on. Dear Abby, my son is 41 and a recovering drug addict. Currently, he's sober, but he believes he is in an online relationship with a famous actress who is 23 years old. He lives with me and has nothing. He works part-time at a local grocery store and sends her money every week via a gift card or something of the sort. I have tried everything I can to convince him he is being scammed. How can I prove this to him? I am not able to kick him out. He has nowhere to go, and he would be on the street. Please advise and help me. I need my life back. Signed, Mom of a man-child in the East. Dear Mom, famous actresses do not need gift cards from their admirers, so the chances are great that your needy and gullible son is being scammed. The gift card is the tip-off. The next step for you would be to contact the police department in your community and ask for help in convincing your son he is being scammed. If she is scamming him in this way, it is probably happening to many others. Dear Abby, my close friend, we are both in our late 50s, tells me her friends go into every intimate detail with her about their sex lives. She said they tell her everything. Every once in a while, she'll ask me about mine, but I feel this is a private matter between my partner and me. Am I wrong? I feel awkward sharing this personal information because I'm sure her friends gossip. Our sex lives are undoubtedly different due to previous illnesses, etc. She even asked me if we have toys. Am I wrong to feel this way? Signed, Modest in Massachusetts. Dear Modest, you are not wrong. Not everyone is comfortable sharing the intimate details of their sex life. If this woman is telling you about her own as well as the preferences of her other friends, she can't be trusted not to share your information. The word from here is to keep your lip zipped. And that's it for Dear Abby today. If you'd like to contact Dear Abby, you can do so at www.dearabby.com or P.O. Box 69440, Los Angeles, California 90069. And now for today's horoscopes for Wednesday, April 22, 2026. Wading through big feelings? Your emotional world takes on a life of its own when the Cancer moon meets Jupiter. That's for Aries with birthdays March 21 to April 19. Taurus, April 20 through May 20. Conversations take on a feel-good quality today. Feeling more expressive, sentimental, or emotionally open in your dialogue? Gemini, May 21 to June 21. Feeling the abundance? Generosity flows your way as the Cancer moon teams up with Jupiter. Cancer, June 22 through July 22. All may feel right in your world today. The Cancer moon soaks up Jupiter's rays, leading you to water. Leo, July 23 to August 22. It's the perfect day to rest and reflect. Solitude can feel nourishing when the Cancer moon teams up with Jupiter. Virgo, August 23 to September 22. The Cancer moon meeting Jupiter paves the way for supportive group spaces and social experiences. Libra, September 23 to October 23. Prepare for emotions to be on display. It's hard to keep things in when the Cancer moon joins Jupiter. Scorpio, October 24 through November 21. The Cancer moon and Jupiter combine to sharpen your big picture view. Sagittarius, November 22 through December 21. Ready to be open? Intimacy can deepen when you are generously vulnerable with another. Capricorn, December 22 to January 19. It's a good day to grow together. Partnerships can move into new territory when the Cancer moon joins Jupiter. Aquarius, January 20 to February 18. Give more than you receive today. Your well-being is enhanced when you generously volunteer your time and energy. And finally, Pisces, February 19 to March 20. Today, your heart may swell 3 times its size. Joy fills the air when the Cancer moon fuses with Jupiter. And that's it for today, Wednesday, April 22. Diane signing off until next week.